Hello and welcome into today's edition of the Arizona State Sun Devils Insider Podcast. My name is Kevin Hicks, and I'm the lead beat writer for Arizona State Sun Devils on SI, and I am so grateful to join you today. We are nearly 6 weeks out from the Arizona State football season. As of this recording, we are 43 days tomorrow. It will be exactly 6 weeks to the day until Arizona State kicks off the season against Northern Arizona on a rare Saturday night game for the Week 1 slate for Arizona State. They typically kick off on Thursday, as you all know. But it's absolutely exhilarating nonetheless. I think we're all expecting the Sun Devils to be ranked inside the top 15 of the preseason AP poll. We're all expecting Sam Leavitt to be in the Heisman conversation. We're expecting Kenny Dillingham to once again be in the Coach of the Year discussion. There's so much to look forward to if you're a Sun Devil fan. The future is illuminating, and I'm so grateful to be covering it each and every day for you. Before we start today's episode, please give me a follow on X/Twitter at khicks_21 if you get the opportunity to do so. And I just want to thank everybody again for all the support. Couldn't do it without you. Let's get today's episode started. Kind of wanted to talk about Arizona State's athletic director Graham Rossini alluding to the fact that ASU's future SEC non-conference schedule could be in peril, namely due to the current reshuffling of the college landscape when it comes to the power scale. As we all know, the Pac-12 is no more. The Big 12 and ACC are technically part of the Power 4 arrangement, but we're being honest, the power is largely in the SEC and the Big Ten's hands, especially when it comes to realignment options, when it comes to revenue streams, when it comes to TV deals, when it comes to even CFP spots. And we know the Big Ten and the SEC are pushing hard to get more guaranteed spots in the college football playoff, especially if they move forward with the expansion to an 18-team playoff. So that could spell trouble for Arizona State. It could spell trouble for a bunch of teams in the Big 12 because, as we've seen, there are programs. We just saw Indiana cancel a home-and-home series with Virginia, a mid-tier ACC program. And presumably they're going to replace Virginia with a group of 5 program, maybe even an FCS program. Indiana is scheduling absolutely nobody that is a challenge for them under Kurt Signetti. And that is an unfortunate result of the current arrangement in the CFP. It's blatantly obvious that the College Football Playoff Committee is currently valuing the conference you're in over who you play in non-conference, and that gives SEC teams no incentive to schedule difficult Big 12 or ACC competition. Big 10 as well, but in this case it's SEC because, as we know, Arizona State has home-and-home series scheduled with Texas A&M starting next year. Actually, they play Texas A&M. They have a home-and-home with LSU for 2028 and 2031. They have a home-and-home with Florida. And they have a home-and-home with the program that they nearly beat in the CFP last season in Texas. 4 prominent SEC programs that are likely going to be top 25 at worst on a yearly basis. That could be absolutely massive for Arizona State's prospects when it comes to competing for a CFP spot at large even. Imagine they beat Texas in the 2030s. They lose the Big 12 title game. If they beat Texas, they still probably get into the CFP. But the current arrangement makes it so that there's really no upside to these SEC programs for scheduling a quality program such as Arizona State non-conference. They'll be better off scheduling Abilene Christian. There'll be no disrespect to these guys, but none of these programs that are going to be scheduled in place of an Arizona State are going to be even a fraction of the challenge. And that's just true. It's just not fair. Like, this is something that needs to be addressed. It really does need to be addressed as quickly as possible, because Big 12 programs that are quality, such as Arizona State, Texas Tech, Utah, they're fighting for the same thing that these other programs are. They shouldn't be penalized for being part of a conference that doesn't bring in quite as much TV revenue, that doesn't get the same national attention as the SEC does. It's not their fault. They shouldn't be penalized. Um, and truthfully, what is Arizona State going to do if a Texas cancels the home and home series? If an LSU does so, are they going to schedule New Mexico? Are they going to schedule Nevada? Are they going to schedule a Mountain West team? It's a lose-lose situation in Arizona State's case, and it's a win-win situation for these SEC programs, because if they play Arizona State, they still have a solid chance to win and boost their resume. If they cancel that game, they're going to replace it with a cupcake victory, and it won't really affect their strength of schedule. It won't really affect their quality wins, because they play in the SEC and they're going to play powerhouse programs week in and week out. It just feels like the power scale has shifted to a point where it's unfair to programs that are trying to play their way into that tier, if that makes sense, because I think even people on the outside of the Arizona State program believe that there's undeniable potential for Arizona State to become that breakout program that is in the college football playoff every year, that is in the top 10 to 15 ranking, whether it's the AP poll or the CFP poll, every single year. As long as Kenny Dillingham's around, the sky is the limit. Player development will always be paramount. Quarterback play will likely never be an issue or a concern again. There's just so many things that you look at Arizona State and you like, and personally, if I were an SEC program, I would be honored that Arizona State wanted to play you, because they might end up becoming such a big brand that they could be an SEC program eventually. We'll see what happens, but as of right now, the arrangement doesn't feel very fair for all the parties at the table. It feels like Arizona State could be getting the short end of the stick in this deal, and we'll see what happens with those future non-conference games. There's still a possibility that nothing comes of it and they end up being played, but we're a year out from playing Texas A&M, several years out from playing programs such as LSU and Florida. Until then, Arizona State can only control what's in front of them on the field. They play another SEC program in Mississippi State, obviously, as part of the back to home and home series in September. Like I said, until then, just control what you can control within the Arizona State football program, and the ultimate goal is to reach the second straight college football playoff. There's really nothing to stop them but themselves right now, so let's see what happens, and Arizona State is still in a good position nonetheless. All right, that's all for today. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Once again, I could not do it without you, and please follow me on X/Twitter at khicks_21. Thank you so much for tuning in today.